Hey, this is Tommy John, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
Tommy John, not my favorite.
Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. Yes, there's your long ball. Stretch. You can put it on the board. Yes.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP TV. Today's show is brought to you by UppercutChops.com. Check out their tasty selection of all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Angus and Prime Wagyu steaks and chops. Wait till you try their best-in-class New York steaks, the filet mignon, of course, the king of all those massive cowboy cut and tomahawk cut ribeyes. Best I've ever had, best in the business as far as I'm concerned. Hell, wait till you try those half-pound Wagyu Prime burgers. Unbelievable. Anyway, find out what's for dinner at UppercutChops.com. That's UppercutChops.com. Or give them a call at 702-799-9935, 702-799-9935, 702-799-9935 for UppercutChops.com. All right, a big welcome in to everybody listening in on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates and all of our independents from coast to coast. Everybody watching on Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Time Warner, Oceanic, and WOW Cable affiliates, thanks for joining us. Also on Hotel TV in 210 Nielsen-rated markets in 3, 4, 5-star hotels and resorts from coast to coast. We're here with a very special guest. In fact, let's let him introduce himself.
Good afternoon, everybody, from Overland Park, Kansas. This is Greg Pryor. And Sal wanted me to come on here and talk about some old school baseball, which I'm going to do. As long as he'll let me tell stories, we're going to have a good time talking about old school baseball, because old school baseball is how I got into big leagues.
Hey, that's great.
When I got into big leagues in 78, I hung around with Wilbur Wood and Bobby Bonds Sr. and guys like that. And I was on top of the heap, man. I was loving and being in Chicago playing for the White Sox in 78. Yes. That was my rookie year.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I was 29, Sal, as a rookie. You think I was scared?
Hell no.
You know how many chances they gave me? They gave me 2 chances. That's all I got.
Wow. Listen, first of all, very near and dear to my heart, of course, be my beloved White Sox. Absolutely. Of course, that always deserves a round of applause. But that was back in the day when we had the exploding scoreboard. The White Sox wore collared shirts. Show that baseball card that you showed me just a little bit ago for everybody watching on TV.
My rookie card in Yankee Stadium.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's Yankee Stadium in the background, and you'll notice that familiar face. People on Twitter or X now say that I look like the principal on Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and we're trying to find his name. Have we found his name yet?
You know what? I'm going to find it. Go ahead and tell everybody more about that wonderful uniform.
You see my mustache there, but about a year before that, the Yankees had a no mustache rule in spring training at 77, and when I got sent to AAA, Billy Martin fired me for the 3rd time out of Yankee Major League camp in 77. They looked at me and they said, Pryor, you can't play shortstop in Syracuse AAA until you shave your mustache. And I said, shave my mustache? I had a mustache the whole month of spring training with Reggie and Thurman and Catfish. Well, George has a rule, no mustaches for what's his name, Ed Rooney?
Jeffrey Jones. Jeffrey Jones is the guy.
He was called Mr. Rooney.
Yeah, but it's Ed Rooney. Ed Rooney is the principal.
Rooney, yeah. There he is.
Okay, so
you might see that on the internet. It's kind of a comical. That's my rookie card, and on the back, it has all my my minor league stats, which makes the card look a lot better because my minor league stats were better than my big league stats. Anyway, so I go to Syracuse, and I had a mustache revolt on my team there, and I said, guys, we're just as much of a man as Catfish and Reggie and Thurman. I said, we're going to grow. There he is. Look at that. Yeah, it looks like me, doesn't it?
Let's make this so everybody can see it. There he is. There's Mr. Rooney, right? Go ahead, hold that card back up.
Hey, if people buy my book, I send an autographed copy of Ed Rooney.
That's
or,
hilarious.
Would you call him Jeffrey Jones?
Yeah, that's Jeffrey Jones at a younger age. But you look a hell of a lot better than Jeffrey Jones at today's time. But please proceed.
So anyway, I got all the guys on my Syracuse team to raise their hand, and they voted to grow mustaches against the rules. I was trying to get traded because I was my third year in AAA, and I didn't want to be in Syracuse. You know, April in Syracuse is not the best place in the world to play baseball. So they started threatening all the players on the team. They were going to get them fired or send them to AA, and I was happy. I was trying to get traded or released. And 3 weeks, Sal, 3 weeks after I started growing my mustache, and it wasn't that thick after 3 weeks anyway, they changed the rule.
No kidding.
Steinbrenner changed the rule. He goes, all the minor leaguers can grow mustaches. So all the guys on the team, they're patting me on the back. They're telling me I'm a hero. And here I was, 28 years old, in my third year at AAA. I was broke, and I had a flimsy mustache. So what good did it do me? You tell me.
I don't know. You know, thinking about those days, back in the day, didn't Thurman Munson have a mustache?
Well, Thurman was growing a beard during the AAA exhibition game. They had just finished a game in Seattle, and the Yankees had committed to play a AAA game or a game against a AAA team, and they came into Syracuse for one on their day off. That's the last place they wanted to be, you know, because they weren't doing too well. So we're getting ready to play the Major League Yankees, who were going to go on to win the World Series. And we were all excited, but they were drinking liquor in their clubhouse before the game. We saw the bottles, we saw the beer cans, and we went out and kicked their butt like 14-5. And Thurman was growing a mustache or a beard in Syracuse, and that day they talked him into getting it shaved. So he ended up going out and getting shaved because George didn't let beards, and I turned the Yankee minor league mustache rule around, and I'm so proud. It's one of my non-claims to fame.
You know, that is a very big hill to climb. And for you to be able to turn that around, that's nuts. Because, you know, that no facial hair thing, that clean cut look thing, how'd that work out?
Well, you got nothing. I had nothing to lose. What was I going to lose? I mean, so what happened was they changed the rule, but then I got the best call in the world. Marvin Miller called me in Syracuse, and he goes, Pryor, you're going to be a free agent after your season in Syracuse. You're going to be a free agent. This is in '76 when the new basic agreement was signed, and guys were allowed to be free agents. Well, I was a minor league free agent in a certain way. So when the Yankees found out about that, guess what they did? They said, Pryor, we traded for you for Sandy Alomar Sr., and we're going to fly you to New York, and we're going to sign you to a 2-year contract. And I'm thinking, with Greg Nettles at third, with Bucky Dent at second, or a short, and with Willie Randolph at second, where's Greg Pryor going to play? So I wasn't going to go because I told him, I said, no, I'm going to be a free agent. So you know who told me in Syracuse that I should go? Gene Locklear, called the chief. He was a Lumbee Indian from North Carolina. He was a major league veteran. He goes, Pryor, go over there and talk to him and get some experience. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's pretty. I'll go to the Bronx. I'll let the Yankees pay for the stakes, you know? So I fly to New York. I met with Steinbrenner up in his office, and he walks in. He goes, Pryor, we got a 2-year contract for you, and it's going to be more than the minimum, but we're going to call you up to the big leagues. And I said, sir? I said, where am I going to play? He goes, well, we got plans for you, Pryor. I said, yeah, on some bus going from here to Syracuse and back. I didn't say that, but I should have.
Right.
So I said, I can't sign this contract. I'm just going to go through free agency, and it's one of the chapters in my book. It's called "The Day George Steinbrenner Called Me a Dumbass." That's the name of the story. So, but it didn't hurt my feelings. You know why? Because, hey, you can't let people hurt your feelings. So I went back to Syracuse. I played it out. They didn't call me up. I go through the draft, and I signed a 1-year contract with the Chicago White Sox, and I played 4 years in Comiskey Park. I played 4 years there. It was so much fun.
You know, my first baseball game as a kid, of course, growing up, I was born in Chicago. I can actually say I'm from Chicago. But being born and raised there, it's a very different time. I mean, let's face it, back in the 1970s when I was a little kid, our baseball teams, well, they had maybe a good year. It would be the White Sox that had better years, of course, than the Cubs. But there was so much fun to go to the games with the exploding scoreboard and the shower in center field, Harry Carey up in the booth having his time.
And you had B.B. Richards. We had Nancy Faust,
right? We had everything going on over there. Hell, the team wore shorts, and I love that. Were you on the club that wore shorts? You got a chance to wear shorts on the field?
That was 1976, and I was in Sacramento in AAA with the Rangers, and they wore those shorts for 3 games only, and I missed it. 1 minute.
Yeah, well, look at it this way. Maybe you missed it by a minute or so, but at the end of the day, I mean, those were glory days for fans, when the fans really mattered. I mean, geez, today's game, they matter, of course, but it's all the TV money that matters in today's time as I see it. And it's sort of an abomination to the fans because the fans got lost in the shuffle. In fact, I want to talk about that in the next segment because, people like going to ball games, but then again, they're worried about, I don't know. We have 40 seconds left of the segment. We have the babysitters. We have, look, back in the day, folks, it was about going to a baseball game, not knowing how long the game was going to go. And if it went extra innings, you got bonus baseball. And we love that as fans. Right or wrong, Greg?
Hey, we in the dugout when it got to be the 9th inning, it was a tie ball game. We used to say to each other, "Hey, let's go, somebody. We're not paid for overtime." Because in our life, we were trying to get more rest, and we didn't want to play another 3 hours. 3 hours was enough. 2 hours was enough. As long as you played 9 innings, you got a winner or loser. That's what people came for. But when I got to know that the game was going to last as long as it was going to last, who cares? You go out and play it because it's very suspenseful. Extra innings they've taken the suspense of extra inning games off the table.
100%. All right, folks, we're going to be back here with world champion Greg Pryor, a pretty damn cool guy, and guess what? A former White Sox player as well. Don't go anywhere. Last more to come here on the Circus. Back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Attention business owners, you and your customers are listening to this right now. Face it, every business needs customers, even yours. The Sports Circus is a primetime nationally syndicated program that's carried on ABC, NBC, CNBC, and Westwood One News affiliates, plus CBS, Fox, and NBC sports affiliates across North America with coverage from Hawaii to New York. Also, the Sports Circus is available to the 180 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, and the Sports Circus gets about 4 million website visitors per month, which could click through your website and bring sales. The Sports Circus provides great content featuring celebrity guests from sports and entertainment to our audience every weekday, which your company could greatly benefit from by increasing your visibility, foot traffic, eyeballs to your website, and calls from potential customers. Call us right now at 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935. Or email us at info@thesportscircus.com. That's info@thesportscircus.com. Drive your sales today by advertising with the Sports Circus.
Can your IRA stand up to the next financial crisis that our top economists are saying is at our doorsteps? By allocating a percentage of your IRA into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns by putting your IRA back on the gold standard. Find out how to safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report. Protect your IRA today with one simple phone call and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. Call Genesis Gold Group, empowering faith-driven stewardship. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. That's 800-932-5517.
That's the sound of sizzling, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks from UpperCutChops.com. Their best-in-class filet mignons, New York steaks, and the king of all steaks, the tomahawk and cowboy cut ribeyes are the best in the business. Even their Prime Wagyu burgers will likely be the best you've ever had. Browse the full selection of steaks and chops at UpperCutChops.com from the comfort of your home or on your mobile device. UpperCutChops.com delivers all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks and chops directly to your door. store without the hassle of going to the grocery store and fight crowds to pick from a small selection of average at best meats with injected steroids, fillers, and coloring added to look good. Find out what's for dinner at uppercutchops.com or call 702-799-9935. That's 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935. Or make your selection directly at uppercutchops.com.
You're listening to the Sports Circus, and I'm Mike Golick.
And you never faced Mike Golick, did you? Mike and Mike, baby?
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm Roy Firestone. Now it's time to throw it back to Sal.
Well, you're throwing some big names out there, Sal. Roy Firestone.
God bless Roy. All right, folks, welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AMP TV. This segment is brought to you by our guest. That would be World Series champion Greg Pryor. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. He's going to tell you, he's going to take 30 seconds to tell you everything he can in 30 seconds. Go ahead, Greg.
No, I'm not. I'm just going to say I wrote a book. They can go to baseball.town to get my book. 27 stories, Sal, about my career. Do you want me to read some of the stories to you?
Absolutely.
The day a pitcher tried to kill me.
What?
The day I called every pitch from shortstop of a major league game. Yeah, the day that I hit my first 2 home runs in Major League Baseball. 27 stories, you know. And then what I do is I give them that card that I showed you, my Ed Rooney card. I sign that and send it.
Right.
And then really, you know, it's almost like, here's the sale. There's another picture I send on the back here. Look at this, Sal. 21 tips on how to be a better player. I put that in the book.
No kidding.
And then I put a bookmarker in, and the top up here it says, how to live your life with a major league attitude. And then a brochure about my company. How much time do I have left?
Go, keep going. You're on a roll.
Lifepriority.com, because, Sal, this is something that you need and everybody needs here is Lift, L-I-F-T. It's one of my products. I've been offering this for about 30 years all across the country. It also comes in capsules. You know what it does, Sal?
What's that?
It helps you get in a better mood pretty quick. It gets you. I just turned 74, and I have all the energy I need. So go to lifepriority.com, and get yourself some lift caps, and maybe your wife will not yell at you that much. But also, I have stuff for joints too. Look at there. I sell this to chiropractors. I never thought I would be in the health and nutrition industry when I was playing ball. But guess what? I have so much fun helping people feel better. Lifepriority.com. And then where do they go to get my book, Sal?
Tell everybody once again. The idea is to repeat it.
The day the Yankees made me shave. Autographed.
I love that. You know,
it took me a long time to write it, but it took me longer to create the stories because I got stories from back when I was a rookie, when my manager told me to quit in A-ball, you know, because I was 29. I was a rookie with the White Sox, and I made 2 errors one night in Comiskey Park, and we played against the Orioles, and Bob Lemon was the manager of the White Sox, and I thought I was done. You work all your life to get a chance to play in the big leagues, and you mess up 2 balls. I let in 5 runs. We lost the game. So after the game, I'm walking around like a dog with no tail, right? Here comes Bob Lemon, the Hall of Fame pitcher that managed the Yankees in '78 to the World Series. He puts his arm around me, and he put his nose right in my face, and that was a big nose he put in my face. He goes, hey, you're in there tomorrow night, kid. Go get him. And that's all he needed to tell me. He forgave me.
Right.
You know, sometimes you don't get forgiven in life. So after I got that forgiveness from my manager, I don't care if the players forgave me because, you know, you don't live your life for the other players on the team. You live your life for the fans. I got back in there, and I played 10 years, Sal, because of Bob Lemon.
That's incredible. And, you know, a lot of people seem to forget that. Look, folks, first of all, if you've never picked up a baseball and played or whatever, hit one, whatever, first of all, it is a very, very tough game to play. Now, I didn't get a chance to go as far as Greg did. I got injured at a young age. Look at that. Hold it closer to the camera. Let me zoom that in for you. Now, say something so the camera switches. What are we looking at?
Well, this is the ball they use in the big leagues now, but it said American League and National League when I played. But this is I never imagined when I was in Little League throwing a ball around like this that I would ever get in the big leagues. So keep talking, huh? So anyway, this is a ball you have to throw across the diamond there in 4 seconds or less to get the runner. And it's a sad case that when the ball goes in the dirt, this brand new ball goes in the dirt at home plate, you know what they do to the ball? They throw it out of the game. Back when I played, they kept the ball in the game, Sal. They didn't throw any balls out.
Well,
so I'd get up the home plate, and old-time umpires would be up there with their inner tube in front of them, and I would wait till the pitcher threw that dirty ball to warm it up, and I'd get up there in the batter's box, and I'd say, time out. And Bill Haller one night, he looked at me, he goes, for what? I said, can you check that dirty ball, Bill? So he looked at me like he could have killed me. And so he takes his inner tube off the front of his chest. He calls for the ball to come in, and I walked right over next to the catcher when he was showing the ball to the umpire. It was filthy because I just caught it pop up, and I rolled it back to the mound. Well, guess what? They threw the ball out of the game. So they've taken that part of the game out. Oh my gosh, there you go. Yes. Bobby Brown, old infielder for the Yankees, right there.
Yep, I got that one. And this is a game ball. Remember I talked to you the other day, we were talking about the home run ball?
Yeah.
This was the home run ball that I caught. You can see the old American League on it, right?
No, I don't. I don't see anything on there.
Well,
looks like your dog's been chewing it, like in Sandlot baseball.
You leave my dog alive. There's the ANCAN there. It says American League.
Okay, we see it.
Hey, you're killing me here. But anyway, but I'll tell you what, in my opinion, just me, there is a dramatic difference in this baseball weight versus this baseball weight. I can feel the difference. I can feel it.
Come on, Sal.
I can feel the difference. But
all in your head.
It must be. All right, I have a giant head, so there's a lot going on in there. But, in the last segment, I had mentioned something about the fan experience, right? We think about bonus baseball. I want to go back to that for a minute because nowadays it seems like everybody's worried that goes to a game. Well, we need a faster game. We need, as a fan, mind you, right? We need a game that only lasts a certain amount of time. So now you've got all these stupid rules, right? And the rules drive me crazy, the pitch clock and all this crap, whatever. I lose my mind with this stuff because the game, in my opinion, has been so compromised. I don't even know this game anymore. It looks like a Little League game out there. What do you think?
Oh, come on now. I told you I didn't want to get on the
I won't get into it. I know you don't want to get into it.
We're not talking old school now. The young people watching this, they have no idea about old school baseball. And my hope, Sal, and with your support, I'm going to try to put together a baseball history TV show for YouTube. It's going to be a weekly show, and I'm going to bring back some history about baseball, and fans are going to love it. So I'm going to invite everybody listening right now to go to baseball.town, send me your email address, and when we get ready to do the show, I'll blast them out an email, and they can tune into the show and watch it. It'll be a 30-minute show, and I can't tell you the format because somebody will steal it and try to copy it from me. But I've got the winner, and I can't wait to show people old-time baseball. So baseball.town.
Hey, you know what? Let's have a little fun here, and it's a little late in the game, but I'll tell you what. I'll open up a phone line if somebody wants to call in. Dial 702-799-9935, 702-799-9935. Again, 702-799-9935. I will answer the phone. I've got it right here. I will answer this. I'll see you call. And I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead. I'll put the speaker on so you can ask the question.
I hope we get one call. It means that nobody's watching if we don't get a call. Who wouldn't have a question of you and me?
Not necessarily, because you never know. Maybe some people say, I don't want to hear myself. Well, guess what? We're going to hear you. So if you have the chutzpah to call, whatnot, go ahead, give a call, and ask a question. You have a question. This guy's got a billion stories. And, we need about, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks to have a full show, to really let Greg tell everybody about everything that he has done in the baseball world. By the way, folks, in case you're just tuning in, we're here with World Series champion, 10-year Major League veteran, Greg Pryor. Of course, a nice round of applause for Greg for joining us. He's got lots of great stories and even some cool things on the wall. Now, before we started this program, what's on your wall once again? That's really cool. Everybody watching on TV can see this.
Well, in the 85 World Series, we played the Blue Jays in the American League Championship game, or series, and we beat them 4-3. We were down 3-1. We beat them. We swept the last 3 games, and then we played the Cardinals in the series. We were down 3-1 to them, and we swept. So back on this wall back here is a banner that they put in downtown or on the plaza in Kansas City, and it says the Royal Flush, and it's like 4x6. So I got 2 of these banners back here, and then I framed it and put it downstairs. And every time I look at it, it's the Jack of Spades, I think. Hold on a second. Nah, it looks like a card, but it says Royal Flush. Get it?
I like
Royal
that.
Flush.
Yes, I like that. And that was that was
Sal,
a great
you're
World
in Vegas,
Series.
You're in Vegas.
It was a great matchup between the Cardinals and the Royals, and that was one of those ones that was like the All Missouri. You call it All Missouri or Kansas
I-70,
border war.
the I-70 series.
The I-70, exactly, the I-70 series. That was a lot of fun, and that was a really good team. Boy, there's a lot of good players on your Royals team. Of course, we had one of those in Brett Saberhagen on the show some time ago. But at the end of the day, this was a very exciting series. I remember that as a kid.
Yeah, it was great. We had George at third, George Brett, and Frank White at second, and they built bronze statues for those guys at Kauffman Stadium here in Kansas City. And when I got traded here, there was 6 guys in the All-Star game on the Royals: Hal McRae, Willie Wilson, Quisenberry, Brett, and Frank White, and Hauser was the manager. So we had 6 players that went to the All-Star game in Montreal. And when I got traded from the White Sox to the Royals in '82, I didn't like the Royals at all. And I told them, I said, I didn't like you guys. Now I love you. I said, now I love you.
Right. Okay. Well, tell you what, I want to hear a little bit more about that, because that's exactly where I was going. Once you said that, I was thinking about the nah, hey, hey, goodbye thing. Right, and the old Hal McRae thing and whatnot. But anyway, I want to talk about that when we come back. Folks, don't go anywhere. Last one to come here with World Series champion Greg Pryor. And look, these stories can go on and they can get really interesting. So, folks, you don't want to miss any of this. Back here in just a few minutes with Greg. Don't go anywhere. I'm your Ringmaster Sal of the Sports Circus, a primetime nationally syndicated television, radio, sports, and entertainment show. The Sports Circus covers topics others are too scared to talk about. There's no other primetime show like it on here that'll punch you in the face and you'll beg for more. Join me, Hall of Famers, world champions, and all-star celebrity guests for chaos and controversy here on Libsyn and all podcast platforms, plus thesportscircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day. All right, we've got just a couple of minutes. It's kind of fun, right? But yeah, I remember that when I was a kid, the Royals were always like the enemy, right? And it was, in Chicago, that was it. And I think a lot of that started with Nancy, right? And the Hal McRae thing or whatever. And I want to talk about that.
Did you go to Disco Demolition when you were there?
Hell yeah.
Were you there at that game?
Yeah, I was a little kid, but yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I played shortstop in a Disco Demolition game. It's in the book. I wrote about it in the book. And then I get in the Pine Tar game in the Yankee Stadium. I played in that game too.
Yeah. I tell you what, the experience is, just as a kid, to see this stuff, I couldn't imagine actually being on the field. A Disco Demolition was just an unbelievable night. I mean,
it was
chaos
like having Woodstock in Comiskey Park,
Right.
Because 40,000 people were not there to watch baseball. They were there to blow up disco music.
That's right.
Which I happen to like. I mean, how can you not like Saturday Night Fever,
Yeah, I think even a lot of those people, they like Saturday Night Fever too, but I think they were a little bit like,
Now, you're showing your age now.
Hey, listen, all I have to do is take this hat off and then turn around, and you'll see the cul-de-sac here. That'll show my age.
Oh, no, you're doing good. You got the nice Wynn hotel back there. My products are made in Vegas. Did I tell you that? I'm coming out there.
Yeah. When are you coming out?
Probably within 30 days.
Oh, nice.
Right. What is today? October what? 8th or 9th?
Well, I don't know. We typically don't timestamp shows, but we could do that.
I know. But hey, who cares? It's 2006, everybody.
Right. It's 1990-12. So it is, I don't know, October 9th, I think. Yeah, it's the 9th. I don't know. 30 seconds.
No, but I go to Royals Fantasy Camp now. I do appearances for the Royals. I was with George Brett the other night at the ballpark, and I still are connected to the game somehow, but I really, really like talking old school because back when they used to let guys slide and take my neck off, at shortstop,
right?
They don't let them do that anymore, and I can see why they're trying to protect the players, but I didn't mind it. I kind of looked at it like a challenge because if I could slide too and rip their throat off too. Yeah, right. Go ahead.
Here we go.
I'm broadcasting.
Hey, this is Josie Scott from Josie Scott's Saliva, and you're listening to the Sports Circus with Sal Tuzzolino.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP-TV studio. AAMP.TV stands for All Ages Media Programming Television. In case you're keeping score, maybe you need a show produced. Maybe you're looking for some creativity, some creative ideas, some whatnot. AMP-TV, AAMP.TV, or check out, well, you know what? You could just check out all of our shows at thesportscircus.com. They're all produced by AMP TV, and AMP TV is a Sports Circus production company. A nice round of applause for AMP TV. And, of course, welcome back to everybody on TV and radio. You know who you are. Everybody streaming on YouTube, thanks for joining us. Again, if you want to ask World Series champion, that would be Greg Pryor. Yes, 10 years in Major League Baseball. Call right now, 702-799-9935, 702-799-9935. I'll answer the phone, I promise. 702-799-9935. Go ahead and give a call right now. And we are here, of course, with Greg, and Greg's had all kinds of great stories. And Greg, where do we leave off? In fact, I know where we left off, and it was when you were dealt from the White Sox over to the Royals, and there was that hatred thing, whatever, you don't like these guys. Why didn't you like him, and where did that whole thing start?
Yeah, thank you. And hey, I want to know more about AMP TV because I'm looking to do a baseball history show, and maybe they might be interested in working with me on my show. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think we can arrange for that, and that'll be a conversation we'll have offline. But again, a very nice thing. And of course, thank you for the play.
When I played with the White Sox, the Royals would come there and they would walk around like they were the best team in baseball. And some years they almost were. But they walked around like it, They would win the first two games of the series, and Hal McRae would come out with a broom and walk around our batting cage. And I'm thinking, why's he got a broom in his hand for? I didn't know. I couldn't put two and two together, Sal. But guess what? He was telling our whole team that they were going to sweep us, And then he would put his ear down close to the ground, and they would say, "How come Hal McRae's doing that?" They said, "Well, because the night train's come through this ballpark tonight, and the Royals are going to kick the White Sox butt." So I get traded to them in '82 in spring training, and I had to change from that beautiful lapel shirt of the White Sox shirt. Where's my card here? Yeah, I had to change from that uniform to this one. That's my Royals cover for all the Royals fans watching.
Right.
And I had to go and put on this Royals uniform, and I walked in the clubhouse the next day as another, on another team, and George Brett runs up to me and he goes, "Greg Pryor?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "We trade for you?" I said, "Yeah, George, last night." He goes, "Let me ask you a question. Whenever I was on second or third base in Comiskey Park or here at Royal Stadium, you never said a word to me. How come you never said hi to me? In four seasons, you never said hi to me." I looked right in his face and stared at him. I said, "Because, George, I hated you. I hated you." He goes, "Sir?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Do you like me now?" I said, "I love you now." So George and I hung together for 4 seasons. I locker next to him in the Pine Tar game. And I probably had more dinners with him than I did my wife for 4 years. And obviously he's one of the greatest third basemen to ever play. And when he got hurt, I had to play for him. So put that on for size.
Oh my God, that's hilarious because I hated you. I mean, that's good stuff. I mean, how do you not laugh with that? Oh man, don't mind me, folks. It's live. Anything can happen. But I tell you what, at some point, I don't know. Maybe you'll have to bring George with you back onto the show because I'm sure you have great stories with that. And we've never had George on the show, but it would be a lot of fun.
Let me tell you about a real quick George Brett story. I'm on the bench in '86. We're playing the White Sox, and I wasn't playing. It was a day game. George, I'm sitting next to him, and he taps me on the leg, and he goes, "Hey, Pryor, you got a bat that feels good." Now, mind you, this guy's in the Hall of Fame asking me to borrow my bat. I was feeling pretty good, right? And I was embarrassed because I had stolen one of Frank White's bats, and I didn't have my own bat. So I said, "Hey, I'm using Frank's bat down there. It's a dark one with tape on the handle." So I get looked up, and there's George swinging my bat or Frank White's bat on deck circle. He gets a hit. They stop the game. It was his 2000th hit. He cracked my bat on his 2000th hit. After the game, I go up to his locker with it. I said, "Dude," you need to keep this. This is your 2000th hit. "Sal, that's 10 years of 200 hits, right?" You know what he said? He says, "I can't believe I used that crappy bat. I went 1 for 7. I'm still hitting 230. I said, "Well, what about your wife?" He's, "I ain't never getting married." "What about your kids?" He's, "I ain't going to have no kids." I said, "Sign it to me." He signed it to me. I still have it.
Oh, that's great stuff. That's a great story. You know, folks, you don't hear that stuff very often, but I mean, come on. George was one of the best hitters in the century. I mean, he's just one of those guys, right? And the guy, he just had this incredible eye. It's like you couldn't sneak anything by this guy, unless, of course, it was the 1 for 7 day, if you know what I mean. Boy, that's great stuff.
I'll show you a picture in my book. See that? You see George and me? We're celebrating. We just clinched the division in '84, and somebody threw a beer can right at my head. See that beer can that hit me in the head there? That's in the back of the book.
Hey, tell everybody about that book again, in case you're just tuning in.
It took me about 3 years to write it. It's 27 stories about, the day the Yankees made me shave is the name of the book. People can get it. They can. I'll send them an autographed copy. They go to baseball.town to get it. And in there, I'll give them all kinds of goodies. Look at this stuff I'm going to give them. A picture, autographed picture with tips on how to be a better player. A bookmarker. And then a brochure on my company, Life Priority. Go to Life Priority and grab you some lift caps, because lift caps will make you feel better. They match your shirt. Look at you. You got a red shirt. That's a red label.
Yes. Hold that brochure back up, but hold it still so people can see the brochure of what it is they actually have the ability to learn about. Your life.
I didn't want to be in the nutrition industry. These are dietary supplements that I offer. And I never thought I'd be in this industry, Sal, but let me just make a couple points to the listeners, because this is about as serious as I can be. You don't get all the things that you need in your food. Sorry, you don't. You can call my company, and we'll help you understand what else you need. We'll ask you to give you good help. And, I never knew how important it was to take the right dietary supplements after you eat. So we've got like 20 products. We don't have time to go through them all on this show. But if they want a free nutritional consultation, they can get in touch with me at lifepriority.com. And thank you for letting me share that with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, look, folks, sports are sports, business, but life is life. If you don't have good health, what do you have?
Exactly. Health is wealth. I just said earlier, I said I just turned 74, and I can still put a sentence together, right, Sal?
You know what? You're doing pretty well at it, by the way. And I think the stories are incredible. I mean, of course, you're going to have to come back. I don't care. We could let this run forever, but I want you to come back. We still have another segment or so, but there's so much that you've got going on here. It's unbelievable when you think about all the stories, the pictures, it is what it is. And that's what I dig doing about this show. Folks, we're looking at a picture here. Tell everybody, Greg, what that picture is. I'm going to go ahead and let it zoom in.
There's my grandpa right there. Wait, let me look. Right here is my grandpa. His name is Homer Pryor. He played in 1912 in Duffy, Ohio, and that's all I have from my grandpa Pryor. Homer Pryor. Get it? That's the pun. And I wish that I would have had more stories from my grandpa. So it was an inspiration for me to put my stories in a book, because, someday when I'm not here, people can still read about what I did, and they can still laugh at it. So, that's a memento that I really like to look at now and then.
Well, the good news is that as we get older, we realize that stuff isn't really that important. I mean, all we want are the memories. We want the great experiences in life. And the one thing that people get on this program, Greg, is they get great stories from our guests and whatnot. And I've been fortunate to be in weird situations that just, look, it's like I'm not even in the football business or the music business or whatever, but I get these incredible stories that come across here. And I'm just taking it all in. And someday I may write a book just on the stories that actually I get a chance to hear about Lombardi and Hallis and Buckus. I met Buckus. I mean, crazy stuff. And I've heard a great story with Buckus and one of the former Packer players that's in the Hall of Fame. Whatever. Great stuff. And, you have the same thing, but in baseball. Take 1 minute, exactly 1 minute. Give us another one, and then we'll go to break.
Well, when I got traded to Kansas City, here's the guys that I became teammates with, and I'll try to get it so that people can see it. There's George Brett, Frank White, Dan Quisenberry, Hal McRae, and I got to play baseball under pressure because Amos Otis told me, he goes, Pryor, it's different here in Kansas City. He goes, we're expected to win here, not like Chicago.
Oh, that's ridiculous. But I get it. I mean, come on, man. I mean, that I don't know, whatever you call it, hatred, rivalry. The Bears and Packers had that. The Red Wings and the Blackhawks had that. I don't know. It must be a Chicago thing. I'm not really sure. Cubs and Cardinals had that. It is what it is. But it's those kind of rivalries that drive the support, the fandom, and whatnot. And I have to tell you, it's fun. For me, I still absolutely despise the Detroit Red Wings. I despise the Green Bay Packers. And it's born into your system, right? It's already ingrained, and you grow up with that. I mean, think about it, right? Yankees, Mets, Yankees, Red Sox, whatever it is. Anyway, folks, lots more to come here with World Series champion. That'd be Greg Pryor here on the Sports Circus. Lots more to come. And make sure you listen to the next few minutes here once this music clicks out. There's something funny from good old Harry Carey, the beloved Harry Carey, the former Chicago White Sox announcer. Listen to this. You're going to have lots of fun with it. Don't go anywhere.
Can't be fun at the old ballpark, friends. High pop fly. That would be a home run in a phone booth. I don't know what the big deal about Cracker Jack is. Did you ever go and buy a pack of Cracker Jack thinking you'd get a prize and find no prize in the box? Here's the pitch. That might not sound important to some people when you're a little kid, especially from humble origin, and they cheat you out of a prize. There's a bouncing ball. Second baseman has a Barbary over to first. It's hard to think in laudatory terms of the product.
I think if there was an occasional box of Cracker Jacks that found no prizes for the little Harry Carey many years ago.
You got that right. And boy, when a box of Cracker Jack to me meant a lot of money. Here's a pitch, bounce foul. That's the most asinine marketing I've ever heard of. 1 ball, 1 strike. These guys say, well, you sing about Cracker Jack. I said, I only sing it because it's in the song. Here's a pitch foul back. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised, even to this day, some youngsters who buy a box of Cracker Jack don't find a prize in the box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Well, if you're going to talk about our congressman being crooked, here's a pitch foul out of play. Why not talk about commercial products who don't do what they represent to do?
There's a smash to Squires. He's got it. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. We're going to the bottom of the 7th now to score. All tied up. Milwaukee 4, the White Sox 4. Hey! Everybody! All right, Nancy, let me hear you. To the ball game. Take me out to the ground. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. White Sox. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. There's a drive, way back. It might be, it could be, and holy cow! This crowd is wild.
Hello, Jack McDowell here, Black Jack McDowell, and you're watching the Sports Circus, which is totally cool. So you have a great time watching. Have some fun.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your Ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP.TV. Folks, make sure you check out thesportscircus.com for our upcoming guests, our Pryor guest, of course, Greg Pryor. Also, make sure you check out some of our partners. One of those partners that's been with us since the very beginning, the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Check them out at csncoyotes.com. That's csncoyotes.com for the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Yes! All right, of course, all of our recorded shows are there, and you can check out this show in full. In case you happen to have missed it, you can check out this show and all the other couple thousand of them with all of our great guests and whatnot. Just like our current guest today, that would be Greg Pryor, World Series champion with the Kansas City Royals. It kind of pains me a little bit to say that because I'm a White Sox guy. But at the end of the day, Greg, a really good guy, great stories. Played with some really incredible players, too. And those lifelong relationships.
Yes.
Wow.
I got a Harry Carey story for you.
What do you got?
Harry Carey. You know, I'm up at home plate in Comiskey Park, and Harry would always have a butterfly net up in the press box for foul balls.
Yep.
And guess who hit him a ball that he caught in his butterfly net? That's right. It was off of Jerry Don Gleaton, and somewhere it's on the internet on YouTube, I think.
I remember Jerry Don Gleaton. Now you're really reaching back. I think I have a Jerry Don Gleaton baseball card from back in the day. I don't know.
Embarrassing, though, you know? Harry Carey catching it in a butterfly net. I kind of wish I could have fouled it off his forehead.
Well, you know, and Harry, he seemed to be inebriated every time he was on air. I mean, he was entertaining for the fans, of course.
And he gets credit for it, and Billy Martin gets chastised for it. I posted a picture of Billy Martin on my Facebook page, Greg R. Pryor, if you want to go to my Facebook page. And I get so many comments, and all these guys want to talk about Billy Martin drinking, you know? It's like they never had a drink in their life. You know, get off of Billy Martin's drinking. Billy Martin won in Texas. Billy Martin won in Detroit. Billy Martin won in New York. And Billy Martin won in Oakland, didn't he? And maybe. But he was – I mean, I wish – he fired me 3 times, but I wish I could have played for him.
Well, you know, I mean, look, there was something to be said. Hey, look, I was fired by Billy Martin. You know, one of my friends, he's in office, or he's running for president this year. And he did 4 years ago also. And he was a former college football coach. He said, my greatest claim to fame is that I got fired by Lou Holtz.
Yeah.
And, same kind of idea, right?
As long as you don't get fired by your wife, you know, you're doing okay.
Oh, right? Yeah, you never know what's going to happen there. I mean, boy, even if you have a bad day, I suppose the wheels could really fall off. But, you know, a lot of people gave Harry credit for drinking. Harry was just another guy that would drink beer and talk on a game. He was kind of entertaining for the fans, and I'm sure remarkably frustrating for a lot of the players, too.
We didn't listen. Well, how could we listen to him? During the game, we don't listen to him, you know. He didn't bother me a bit, except one time he bothered me. He came up to me at the end of the season in '79. I had a real good season, and we're doing live TV back to Chicago from Anaheim, and he gets the microphone right in front of my face, and he goes, Greg Pryor, you're going to be back here again next year. You have no doubt. You're the best shortstop we've had here in a few years. But, Greg, who do we need to get rid of off this team to make it better?
What?
And he stuck the mic right in my face. I think,
no,
you don't do that to me. He was trying to get me to cut my teammates down. And I said, look, Harry, I just want to be back here myself. If they want me back, I'll be glad to come back. And Guess what? I came back for 2 more seasons.
That's right. And before you, if I'm not mistaken, Bucky Dent was over there, was he not?
Yeah, he was, and Alan Bannister was there too.
Yeah, I really liked Alan as a fan, as a young fan. Really, but that guy just seemed to get a lot of clutch. He got the hits when they mattered, and I like that. And the guy had a really good glove too.
Very good hitter. You know, there's a different combination between hitting and defense, and I had a little bit of both. That's why I stuck for so long, I think.
It's hard.
Because if you can't catch the ball, believe me, the ball's going to find you. Ball has a personality. It's going to find you.
Right. You can't hide out. People say, well, let's stick Joe over there in right field. Guess what? You're going to get 9 shots in a row over there in right field just because you're trying to hide him out over there.
So I made 50 errors in A-ball in 73, and the farm director goes, Pryor, he says, you can't run. You got minimal power. It's obviously you can't field, but you can hit a little bit. We just don't know what we're going to do with you. So I had to sit down and look in the mirror and say, well, what are you going to do, Pryor? You got 3 strikes on you. You can't run, you got minimal power, and you can't field. I decided to choose fielding. I decided to be a better fielder, and that's all I worked on. I really improved my fielding, and I became known as a better fielder than I was a hitter. But, hey, 10 years is 10 years, dude.
You know what? I want you to spend a minute, and I want you to talk a little bit about the bumpy road to get to the bigs. I mean, let's face it, there are levels and levels and levels. People have a hard time understanding why sometimes, I'm not going to say all the time, why sometimes it's hard to have a knowledgeable conversation about baseball and what it took to actually get all the way to the top of the game. I mean, hell, you won a World Series, but all the way just from concept as a kid, maybe in grade school, high school. What does it take from level to level to level to level, and the perseverance, getting knocked down, punched in the face, hit in the arm, whatever the hell it is, kicked in the ass, whatever it is. Talk about what that road was like for you.
It was a road that took me 15 years to do it, because I started playing when I was 7, and I didn't get to be a pro until I was 22. But let me give you a couple, and then I'm going to take my wife out to dinner. In high school, I was not a very good player. I had no scholarship offers, five scholarship offers. I wasn't drafted out of high school, Orlando, Florida. My older brother was a great pitcher at Florida Southern College in Lakeland, Florida. And my dad said, Greg, let me go talk to Coach down there and see if I can get you at Florida Southern. So he went down there, and behind my back, he said this to the coach: give my young son a scholarship, or I'm taking my older son out of your school. It's your choice. My dad comes back to Orlando from Lakeland, and he goes, guess what, Greg? Florida Southern's giving you a scholarship. So here I go and played 4 years there at Florida Southern, not knowing that the coach didn't want me. I thought he did, right? It was all in my mind. Well, I made an All-American my last 2 years. And then I get to my rookie season in Geneva, New York. I was a Washington Senator, and I made a bad play in a game my rookie year in 71 in Geneva. And the coach was reading the lineup out for the second game of the doubleheader. And he gets to the 9th hitter of the second game, and he looks at the catcher, a backup catcher, and he goes, Rich, I'm going to watch you at third base this game, and you're going to hit 9th. And he pointed right at me. He goes, Pryor, you can take your uniform off, and I don't care what you do. Right in front of the whole team. Now, I was thinking about joining the commune, because it was back in the late 60s, early 70s. But guess what? That didn't stop me. And then I had my last comment here is 1975 spring training. Billy Martin sent me out of the Ranger camp, and he comes up to me. Billy Martin was managing the Rangers. And he goes, Pryor, he says, if I need an infielder, you're the one. I'm calling you up. So I'm at the top of the world. I'm close to the big leagues, right? Well, I go to minor league camp. Farm director goes, you're going to go to Pittsfield AA. I said, no, you don't understand. Billy Martin is going to call me up. I need to be in AAA. He goes, Billy Martin doesn't run the minor league camp. You're going to AA. Any other questions? I said, yeah, would you give me the difference in money between AAA and AA? It's only $250 a month. He goes, you're going to get AA money. You sign for it, and that's all you're going to get. And I looked at him. I said, I quit. I went home to Orlando. I quit. I quit baseball. I thought about it for 3 days, and I guess I had no other options. So I said to my parents, I said, I'm going to go back. I called the manager of the AA team, and I said, Joe Klein. I said, Joe, it's Pryor. I'd like to come back and play. He goes, show up tomorrow morning. I'll tell Hal you're coming. Let's go to Pittsfield and have a good season. I go to Pittsfield. Now here I end up on your show after 10 years in the big leagues, right? That's the kind of stuff. I got more for you, but those are 3 things that happened to me that really got me over the hump.
It's a real bumpy road that I think a lot of people don't know. I mean, I was on that road. I know that road, but I got hurt. It ain't about me. But my point is, I know part of that road, and the stuff that you're saying and the small money, I know this one. I mean, listen, folks, it is a very bumpy road, but this guy endured the road, and he got to the very top. He had some great times playing with some great people, made some lifelong relationships as well, got to hoist that trophy, did everything that you're supposed to do if you're a kid. That's what I'm going to do. But the bigger question is, the last question I have, did you ever hit that when you're a kid? It's the bases are loaded, bottom of the 9th, and you're down by 3. Did you ever hit that grand slam, that walk-off home run? We never knew it as a walk-off back then. It was just the home run in the bottom of the 9th. Did you ever get your chance to hit one of those?
Well, luckily for me, I hit one in Comiskey Park against the Oakland A's. Billy Martin was managing, and Beck and Charlie Finley were at the game, and I hit a 2-run pinch hit, a home run to win the game. And then I hit 2 in Kansas City in one season. In '84, I hit one off the Baltimore in the bottom of the 9th, and then I hit a 16-inning walk-off home run in Kauffman Stadium. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, those are memories that will never escape you. And you have a book. I want you to take a quick minute, tell everybody about your book, tell everybody about what you're doing from health and nutrition, and go ahead and start now.
My book's called The Day the Yankees Made Me Shave. See that mustache there? Like the principal on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. What's his name, Mr. Rooney?
Yes, Ed Rooney.
What's his real name? Jeff Jones?
Jeff Jones.
Well, they think that I look like Mr. Rooney, but it's called The Day the Yankees Made Me Shave, and I'll be glad to autograph it for you, your husband, your uncle, your grandpa, or your son. It's got 27 stories about my career. And then, lastly, thanks for mentioning my company, Life Priority. LifePriority.com.
Tell everybody about Life.
Dietary supplements.
There you go.
Look at this.
Take 30 seconds. Take 30 seconds and tell everybody about your top 2 products.
Well, it's hard to talk about my top 2. Come on.
You have a top 20, I know. But just pick one, spotlight it.
2 lift caps will get you feeling really good in about 30 minutes. It's created by a genius. Let me show the book here. I met these people when I got out of baseball. They wrote the book Life Extension, and they created these formulas that I offer. So if all they want to do is get lift or lift caps, lift is powder capsules here. Be glad to get one of them. Go to lifepriority.com, try them. I'll just warn you, once you start using them, you might not stop. It's kind of a trick, but it's healthy for you, and it's better than all those other things that people are using that aren't so good for them. So go get my book, get my supplements, and Sal, it's been wonderful, and I'm going to see you in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure. Listen, make sure you give me a little lead time. We'll bring you back whenever you want to come on because it's fun. You have so many stories, but they're real. It's not some scripted BS. No, folks, this is legit. All right, so for World Series champion Greg Pryor, I'm your Ringmaster Sal, and we'll see you in about 23 hours right here on your favorite station. Pick your favorite affiliate. Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Wall Cable TV, Fox, NBC, CBS, whatever. We're everywhere you can't get away from us, even the Mars rover. So long, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
That's the sound of sizzling, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks from UppercutChops.com. Their best-in-class filet mignons, New York steaks, and the king of all steaks, the tomahawk and cowboy cut ribeyes are the best in the business. Even their Prime Wagyu burgers will likely be the best you've ever had. Browse the full selection of steaks and chops at UppercutChops.com from the comfort of your home or on your mobile device. UppercutChops.com delivers all-natural, dry-aged USDA Prime Wagyu and Angus steaks and chops directly to your door. store without the hassle of going to the grocery store and fight crowds to pick from a small selection of average at best meats with injected steroids, fillers, and coloring added to look good. Find out what's for dinner at uppercutchops.com or call 702-799-9935. That's 702-799-9935. 702-799-9935. Or make your selection directly at uppercutchops.com.